going on, guys? We are out on the job today and we are going to be revisiting Milwaukee's M18 16 gauge angle finish nailer. I've gotten a lot of people asking what my thoughts on this gun were now that we've put some miles on it. We've had it for a couple of months now, maybe 4 months, and we have put thousands and thousands and thousands of nails through this gun. And if you remember, the first video we did was just initial impressions. Today I want to talk about what I really think about this gun after we've been used it for quite a while now, and I know what this gun can do and what it can't do. So I thought today would be a really good day to revisit this gun and show you this gun shooting through some stuff. And today is a good day because we're getting ready to do hardwood. This is the hardwood flooring package for this house in front of me. And sometimes we use the trim guns in nailing the hardwood. Now obviously not in the middle of the room, but sometimes when you get in the corners or in tight spots, the trim gun is the thing to use. Sometimes we'll use screws, but most of the time we'll just use a trim gun to nail in the little tight corners. So what I brought is a few things with me to represent the standard floor. You're going to put your floor joists down. They're going to be 2x10s or whatever the plan calls for. On top of that, we're going to put down 3/4 of TNG. This is Advantech. This is very hard stuff. And then on top of that, you'll get a sheet of black paper and then the hardwood flooring. So we're going through 3/4 of oak, 3/4 TNG Advantech, and then down in our 2x lumber. So we're going to take a couple of shots here and let you see the results for yourself. All right, now for this test, we're going to be shooting 2.5-inch nails. And as you can see, every nail is shot flush. That's it. The gun does exactly what it's supposed to do. So let's talk real quick about what I still like about the gun and a couple of caveats that it has. Number one, I like the gun. Everything in the initial video that I said I liked about it, I still like. I like the operation of the clear out mechanism at the front. It works very well. I like the placement of the hanger in the back. I like the offset of the gun. It's naturally ergonomic to my elbow. And I like the fact that the only thing I have to have for this gun is this one little battery. No gas. This battery, it'll run all day. It's just a little 2-amp battery, but for shooting nails in this gun, I've never had a day using it where I had to change the battery or even charge it. It just lasts. Now, there are a few things about this gun that I have discovered from using it. Two things really that are not deal breakers. They're just something you have to know going in. The first thing I have discovered is that this gun is definitely heavier than some other guns. This thing is over-engineered. And that's going to lead us to the second issue in a second. But the gun is severely over-engineered in my opinion. And because it is so robust, it's so heavy duty, it is definitely heavier now than the Pazloads or some of the other ones that are made with lighter materials. And because of that, you do feel it in your arm. Now I've gotten used to using it, but I can remember the first couple of weeks or the first month, I was very aware of, particularly shooting up or shooting at angles, or doing a lot above my head, I was very aware that this gun was heavier than what I was used to. But now that I've been using it, I'm used to it, and it's no big deal to me. The second kind of issue I have with this gun is right here in the front. I like the mechanism, but because this gun is so robust and so overbuilt, this area up here is big. When you put it up against a Pazload, I should have brought one with me. When you put it up against one of those, it's twice the size. Now what that does for you is when you're out here in the open and you're flush nailing and you're doing this, it's completely fine, no big issue. But when you try to get into a corner or a tight space, particularly, here let's use this again. If you're nailing shoe molding under a cabinet, this is the biggest place I found this. Under a cabinet, you're going to have usually about a 3.5 to 4 inch toe space, and then the cabinet is going to come out and then turn and go up where the doors are. So you've got a toe space up under it, and when you run your shoe mold, you've got to get it in that crack and get in there and nail it. Well, this gun, because it's built so hefty in the front, it can be problematic getting it in there. Now this lip right here is narrower than a cabinet would be. A cabinet would come on out to about right there, and it's a lot of gun to get in that space. Now if you're just going along an edge like this, nailing, 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 no problem at all, it works great. Where the issue comes in is when you get to a corner. We'll use some of these as a demonstration. Where you get to an inside corner in the cabinets where you've got toe space underneath and then ledge hanging over, and you're trying to get the gun back into that corner to nail the edge. You're probably got about a 70-30 chance. You got a 70% chance of getting the nail to set, and about a 30% chance of the nail's not going to set because the gun's at a weird angle. So if normally you don't have a lot of inside corners, so you could take a 4-penny, hand nail, just, a regular nail, and hand nail the inside corner real quick and never have to worry about it. Because when the little 1.5-inch nails we would use on shoe molding, if they get stuck out, particularly in oak shoe mold, you really can't drive them up. You gotta get in there with some pliers or something and try to pull the nail out. But other than that, the gun works great, and as long as you know that you really need to be paying attention in those inside corners, so you either try to pull back out 2 or 3 inches and nail further away than normal, and then let the coping on the next one hold it in tight, you'll be fine doing that. But if you try to get in that corner, that's where you're going to hit some issues. So let's talk about performance. Now I already showed you our little flooring demonstration here. The 3/4 oak subfloor and then our framing lumber underneath. And you saw it shot all 4 nails all the way up, completely flush, nothing to set. Now, does this gun do that every single time? No. No, it doesn't. And to be honest, I have never had a trim gun setup that will set every nail flush every single time. You are going to get some nails that sit up 1/4 inch, sit up 3/8 of an inch. Sometimes something funky will happen and the nail will go 1/8 of an inch in and then be sticking completely out. It's the oddities of the stuff that happens when you're working with wood. But the majority of the time, this gun does exactly what it's supposed to. Now, does it leave nails sticking up any more or any less than any other gun I've used? No. I think it is par for the course. It seems to have just as many hiccups that my Pazloads have had, or even some compressor-based guns have had in the past. It's just, for what it is, it does exactly what I expect it to do. Shoot most of the nails up like it's supposed to, and occasionally I will fix the other ones that it misses on. Now let's talk about nails. We use Pazloads 16 gauge angle finish nails, and we only use 2 sizes. We use 1.5 for the small stuff and 2 inches for the bigger stuff. We do not use 2.5-inch nails. I have found that whether it is Milwaukee or Pazload or a compressor-based pneumatic nailer, anything longer than 2 inches, the chance of the nail not completely setting flush and I have to get my nail set out and finish it, the probability goes up dramatically. So we just don't even use them. 2 inches is the longest thing we're going to shoot in our guns. So the next thing we'll talk about is jams. We've talked about the nails setting flush or not setting flush. Let's talk about jams inside of the gun. To date, we have shot thousands and thousands and thousands of nails through this gun, and the truth is, I have not had one single jam in this gun. I have not found a situation where I had to take the nails out and open up the top mechanism and get a nail out or set the plunger. It just hasn't happened. Now, whether that is just an oddity for this particular gun or that's how every single one of them performs, I don't know. But I have not had one single jam in this gun, and that's impressive. Now there is one other oddity about this gun that took me some getting used to. Because all of this stuff up here is so clunky and so big and so over-engineered, I don't think there's any chance that you're going to damage this or bend these guides like I've done with other guns in the past. But because it's so strong up here, it's wide, and it's a little, it took me some getting used to with this gun, trying to figure out exactly where the nail is going to come out of the gun and land at. Now, for really wide work where you're just kind of out and you're nailing paneling or baseboard and you've got a wide area, that's not a big deal. But say you need to get right on the edge of something. Say that this is a piece of I don't know, 1/2 inch plywood, and we're trying to nail two joints together, and I've got a very small margin of error where I can shoot this nail at and it not come out of either side and cause me problems. Well, what I have discovered, and it took some trial and error, is that if you look on the side of the bumper up here, there's a little indentation right there. Well, and a little out indentation, I guess you'd call it, a little line right there. And if I need to shoot a nail within 1/4 inch of what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to shoot right on the edge. If I will take the gun and I will put that little line on the side of the bumper right on the edge of my material and shoot the nail, then I'm able to shoot consistently right on the edge of the material. And you can see I can shoot very close to the edge very consistently if I line the gun up that way. Now, I'm not going to lie, it took me some serious trial and error to figure out exactly where the nails were coming out of this gun. And when we were first starting off, we shot nails out of everything. They were coming out of corners, coming through window jams, they were all over the place until we figured out how to line this gun up. So you're going to probably have the same trouble. But once you figure out where this gun shoots at, you can do it as many times as you want, as consistently as you can possibly be. Alright, so in quick conclusion, I think Milwaukee has made a really good product here. This is going to be what I use on my jobs and my guys are using on our jobs from here on out until they make something better or something better comes along. I see no reason that I will ever go back to gas. If you're already invested in the M18 platform, this is a no-brainer. If you just understand the few caveats that it does weigh a little more than some of the other guys, the bigness and the bulkiness on the ends will make getting into some corners a little awkward. And shot placements is going to be something that you're going to have to practice a little bit to get the hang of it. But once you do, it's easy as can be, no problems. So I thoroughly recommend this gun. I have no problems, no reservations. I buy it again, and I will be buying more of them in the future. So I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, please give me a like, hit the bell notification, and if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to answer any of your concerns. I'm Albert, and I'll see you next time.